Bonjour YouTube, welcome back to the channel. Today, when I say we, me, Tom, Ed, we are going to Buckmore Park in Kent for a go-karting session. I think the premise for most of us now is we want to learn how to be better drivers, so go-karting is the best way to do that initially and the cheapest. We want to go try a proper track, so we're going to go do that. So stay tuned. I'll try and capture as much as I can, and I'm hoping they let us film with the GoPro. So stay tuned, we'll catch you in a bit. You look worried?
Serious professionals there, my friend.
We've got a distinct lack of bodysuit with us, haven't we? We haven't got a race suit, everyone else has. So
everybody else has got their own race suits, own helmets, own gloves. Did you see the guy who came in with like Aston Martin, Red Bull? He was like a 14-year-old lad.
Serious talent. Ed's just in the zone.
Ready. Many hours of watching YouTube videos for Ed.
It's kind of like similar to the simulator, doesn't it?
Well, brace yourselves, chaps. So I don't know if you can hear me, but we're at the track. I think we're a bit out of our depth. It's our first time here, it's all pretty intense. Can we see anybody coming up? Well, yeah, there you go, someone coming up. So I'm with Ed and Tom. We are going to get suited up, get into our carts, and hopefully get the GoPro on. So here we are then, the GoPro is attached to the cart and we are heading out on our sighting lap. So the first lap is under yellow flag rules as stipulated in the pre-race, practice briefing. What we were doing today was what Buckmore classes a 30-minute practice, so it's not racing, although later on in the video you will see some pretty sketchy passes. It's just an opportunity to get your eyes in and get some lap times under your belt. Come the end of the video, I will reveal the times from everybody. You can see who was the quickest. As we're going around here, you'll be able to sort of get an eye for the track and see people warming up their tyres. I did try my best to do that, but I'm not very experienced at it. What I will do before we come round to the home straight is I'm going to chop these clips up so you don't have to sit through half an hour of me driving around a circuit. I'll put in the best bits and the worst bits. For reference as well, I am number 4, Tom is number 5, and you won't see him till the very, very end actually. He's quite far ahead, and Ed is number 6, and Ed and I do have a nice little rodeo through this, so you'll see that on here. I'll make sure to include it. But as you can see, it's green light for go. I think the first lap really was a good eye-opener. I wasn't sticking around, as you can see, just threw it in there. I always find just to go straight at it is probably the best way. I will have some terrible lines to begin with as I try and sort of settle in. So please don't crucify me in the comments. Actually, you can crucify me in the comments. Go for it. I was going to say there's a big wide variety of people on track, but you'll see at the end that that's not the case really. I was just going for it hammer and tong to begin with. One thing you will notice is that if there's any somebody who's slightly slower or on a down slow lap, they do back up the traffic quite a lot. So that's the case here. You can see people have sort of backed up a little bit, but I will try and work my way through the crowd. I was happy with that corner until I saw the end of it. This one again, that's quite good. Going wider than I oversteer, which is pretty standard for me. I'm just chasing this pack down here. We can jump forward a bit and we'll come back into this in a moment. So you join me now on a new lap, as you saw. The reason I've chosen this spot in particular is because if you look closely at the person in front of you who's just gone wide, that is Mr. Edward Durden. So I believe on this lap I take him at the bottom of the track. Ed and I did a bit of back and forth, so it's probably a good spot as any to jump back into the action. As you can see, I'm carrying a bit more speed than Ed there, and Ed goes off wide, and it's curtains for him, and I go past him. Now, I'm not sure if he knew I was behind him, and hence why he's pushing hard, or that was just a mistake. Oh, number 2 slipped up my inside there. Bonjour. So, I believe now I try and stick as close as I can to number 2 for quite a prolonged period of time. Ed is somewhere sniffing around behind me, trying to get back round me, and you will see him. Oh, there's a yellow flag, so we all ease off this chap there. And then it's a green flag, so let's go again. I will say Buckmore's fantastic for this. If you do a lot of the indoor tracks, they're terrible for yellow flags, but yellow flags last for like 10 milliseconds here, and then it's go again. So he's actually pulling away from me, so I'm not going to do myself an injustice. I'll join the action when it gets a bit closer again. So you join us back on the home straight. I've chosen this spot. There's a group of us here, and I chose not to include it. However, 7 and I believe it's number 2. 7's the one that just lost the back end there. 2 were having a proper head-to-head for a while, and I was sat behind them. I noticed some interesting tactics being used. So when it came for my turn to go past him, I thought that there may be some repercussions for my actions, and I believe there was further into the lap. Speaking of the actions, so further into the next lap, go around, I'd sort of hit these apex as well. I'm doing well here, not really paying attention behind me then. Boink! I get punted out straight to the corner, and I was not happy with said punt. However, it happens in racing, doesn't it? So 7 squeezed past me again, so it's game on to try and catch them up. So as we get back into it, I'm stuck behind 13, and then a car comes on my inside, and look who it is, Mr. Edward. So the race is back on with Ed now. Good to see him back to the party after a considerable amount of time behind me. You can see already he's looking for where I am. Back through these S's again. It's a good bit of the track this is again. This bottom part of the track wasn't my strong point. I carry a lot of speed through there. Probably need to wider there, get better inside. Can't overtook him. I did, I basically left the door open and I drove straight through it. And that is all we'll see of Ed, I believe, again. So here we go again. As you can see, I'm just catching up some back markers. I actually chopped out a pretty solid section of footage then. It's just me driving around my own, just getting some practice laps in, which is quite nice. I think that's when I set my fastest laps actually. So here we are going behind number 13. I believe I passed them once already. It's a practice session, so do like that inside there. It's a good overtaking point, that is. And now the hunt is back on to catch up with 7 and 8, who had actually pulled away from me, to their credit. And I'm now on the hunt again. These two were having a duel the entire time. I don't know if they knew each other. It makes sense if they did, but as you can see, there's a lot of interesting lines being used here. So, just to compound it, you see they have a little clash here, and then whee! Number 8 comes straight across the track to cut me off. Very kind of him. So as we come to this next set of corners, I've actually redone this piece because I hadn't realised. So number 8 dives up the inside, pushes number 10 wide, and if you watch, 8 drives him off the track, so 10 has to go wide, stays on, puts back on, loses it, shoots across, and that's why we get the overtake. So I'm sure you can imagine how number 8 will be feeling about being overtaken in general. Speaking of the overtake, so oh, I'm naughty, I did little tap him there. Apologies number 8, but that did wind him up to be honest, and then I get pushed out there, and then he pushes him off the track, and then we continue, and then here again, look, he doesn't, not shy using his car, he actually pushes me towards the wall there, so I decide not to give up and give him a little love kiss, love tap. So as we're on the run down to the bottom of the track, you can see I'm pretty close up behind number 8, numero 80. That's terrible and wrong. So we're following through the S's. Again, I carry so much speed to that corner, but I always overcook it. So I take a wider line here, and there's the gap. Send it up there. Now he steered into me there. You can see he's squeezing me. Then he locks his own wheels up. And I take the opportunity to go round him and press on from there. So as we're coming up to the first corner, number 15, who is absolutely rapid, takes a long run there to be fair. However, as I come into this corner, I get punted. There you go, as you can see. Now I believe that was someone behind number 15, punting 15 into me. And then there's 15, and then wouldn't you know it, there's number 8. I believe he was the culprit of the punting. So we're back behind 8, but 15 just disappears into the ether. When we first arrived, there's a young lad there wearing Aston Martin F1 race garbs, and I believe that was him. He was very good, and he was the quickest on the day. I'll give that away. So as we cross the start finish straight again, as you can see, 8 is in front of me still. 12 in front of him, he chucks it up the inside, I chuck it up the inside, all's good, I get a good drive out this corner, but then I get the door shut on me slightly, so I think it's better just to leave it, try the old switchback. No look there. Number 8 always had a good drive out the corners, either I was going too quick or he was just lighter than me. So as we come down the hill, both got good lines, both happy with that, but then, oh, we lost it a little bit, goes in hot in that corner. That allows me to catch up a bit more. I go really wide here to try. No, he's lucky enough to shut the door, so I tried to cut back, but I messed up completely, if I'm being honest. So we'll come back up the hill again. So we are just about to come back over the start finish straight again, and I'm not sure what happened here. He just disappeared. Just drove off as if he forgot to do the corner. I was a bit shocked, but again, took the opportunity and drove through that hole. So as we cross the start-finish straight, I know that it's coming to the end of the session because I've looked at the time on the video, that is, not in the car. I thought it best now to surmise, so we are actually catching number 13 here again, but unfortunately we don't catch him quick enough. Having done various different indoor karting circuits around London, I think it's fair to say this is different gravy, to be honest, different level. For the value of money, we did a 530 slot, which was just under 50 quid. It's fantastic. The track is unbelievable. The facilities are unbelievable. And do you know what? The quality of karting as well. We found that the indoor tracks, they had a lot of yellow flags. They yellow flagged the whole track, so you have to slow down. Red flags were very common as well. So you can see there, that's the checkered flag. So it's time to slow down on the in lap. I did not catch 13 again, unfortunately, but we live and we learn. We didn't get to see Tomo. We will do right at the end. You'll just see his number. However, we didn't get to have a little race with him. Hopefully next time we will. And if you like this, please let us know. It's we want to do it again, and we are looking to do more actual driving related things and learning. So if you like the content, please bang that like button, smash that subscribe button, and you'll join us on the next video. We're coming up to the end of the lap now. You can see we're catching everybody up, so I shall leave you with me pitting. So one thing I've just noticed, obviously, first and foremost, I am just there, number 1. Thomas is second out of our group, and poor Ed is third. But however, look at those times; they are extremely close, extremely close. Also to note, 7 and 8, who are having that duel, share the same last name. So I'm not sure what relationship they have to each other, but they did know each other as predicted. But yeah, pretty happy with a mid-table 8th. For first go out, and actually if you could see the rest of the times, it's all pretty close. Hope you enjoyed the video, guys. Stay tuned for the next one.